Whew, that is beautiful. You guys did a hell of a good job at measuring all this stuff out. You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag. Another day of turning wrenches. So, welcome back to the channel. Beautiful Saturday. Where are you going? You want to tell everybody hello? You're going to go do hood rat stuff, aren't you? Yeah, another day of partying. Well, alrighty. Well, let's see if we can tinker along on this some more. I might have a piston I've realized to go on that top section, which would be really cool. Because then we just need some hydraulic lines to actually run all the functions, move everything. We really should pop these lights off and figure out what they are. I still have yet to actually send my meters out, so that's going to be a Monday thing, but we can get them taken off, check them over, get them packaged, and then we'll get them sent on Monday. So appreciate you guys joining along. There has been some comments on why didn't you just buy the right planter at the beginning. Well, I thought I did, but figured we convert it. And honestly, you don't see planters that are flex, and having a 4-row and pretty much a 4-row on contours of the soil is pretty freaking sweet. So I still think this planter is going to work out better than me ever trying to get a 30-inch row corn planter. Granted, the next 30-inch 8-row front fold non-flex planter was like $9,500, so I might have, I'm gonna say probably $8 grand into this now because of the seed hoppers. Seed hoppers were about $1,000, stuff like that. Row openers, another $400, stuff like that. But seed hopper row openers would be stuff that I do on another planter anyways. So yeah, it is what it is. And my time, well, my time is my time. So at the end of the day, you never bill yourself for enough time of your own. But yeah, that is where we're at. So we're gonna switch out. We're gonna start by switching out all these bearings, and then we can put the shafts back in, see how they line up, so we can do both sides of that. These, as you see, we're gonna switch these ones out too. And then once we do that, we can put this transmission on, make sure things line up. I think I got enough couplers to get it across. But yeah, this is gonna come together. So appreciate you guys watching, liking, subscribing, being part of the channel, and let's see how this beautiful day turns out. One wing in. We just got to get a cotter pin. I remember I took this one out, so pop that one out, put the cotter pin in there, and then as you see, it works. So that shaft is long because we never even cut the ends down. We were able to slide them out, but that should be able to go from there, come across, and we got to figure out exactly how it's going to link together. That should be pretty easy to do. So we got to do the same thing with these ones. Pop those off. The other side, I thought it was a regular one of these that was just sitting here, but for some reason it's this. It's by itself, which I might have one of them. I didn't order one of them, so wasn't thinking. Nothing to see here. Nothing. Oh. Okay. Yeah, this is working out. As long as we don't hit nothing or hit ourselves. If you remember, this side was all bent where it went through the wheel. So we needed a shaft. And this setup, this old part splinter setup, beautiful shaft, has the coupler, has the other coupler, so that's all going to be used. Same, the other side's got a coupler on it. As you see, we pulled it out. So we're going to strip down what we can use off of this. Bam! Yep, so that shaft is in there. It actually lined up damn good to this. So that's just got to slide out. We got to re-drill that shaft through. That one's good there. all that is a piece of pipe. Where's my other one? I think it's still on there. It's a piece of pipe with a pin through, and then you got these end pieces that actually are the hex shaft that sit around them. Then you put cotter pin through. So I think I got 2 of those, so we got to make some pipe. You see the holes are egged out, so we might make 4 sections of pipe so that we can make it all good there. But we'll get the other one off. That one will go over here. We'll probably have to pull this planter out so we can open it and see. But if we get one side figured out on that, that will be good. Then I can do the other side. Then we just got the underneath shaft is the other one that makes it more challenging. This is where it's gonna get a little we gotta get creative. So we got this in here. We want that to sit somewhat nice. If it's got some play, that's where it is. I don't know if we can put a bearing in between here. We might have to narrow this section down. I forget. I think they want like $40 a section for that piece of pipe, which is ridiculous. But I guess the thing we got to do is we got to pull this out, close this wing up, see how much room we got. If we need to cut a little bit off of this to give us the amount of room, because, well, as you see, that's pushed in, so we do have quite a bit of room that we could snug those up. And then maybe that's what they had previously. If you remember, they had bearing sitting across that supported that. And then this has a little bit of play that we could tighten that. We could go right like that. So let me pull it out and let's see what we have. Here's my worry. That's touching. We haven't even inserted this piece in between. So there's going to be no room for a bearing on there. That lines up somewhat decent. Yeah. But I got an idea. Let me see. So let's open this up. Take that pin back out. Ready? That goes in like that. So if we cut that down, we re-drill that hole. There's our gear. It's got a little bit of slop, but it will keep this gear turning. So let's do that. We'll cut that down. We'll drill our hole through, and our hole will be the same size as this shaft. So what do we got? A little bigger. Where's my other one? Oh, perfect. Alrighty, that might work. I've actually impressed myself with this one. We'll have to get a longer pin, but look at that clearance. So then if this closes up, lock it in. So this one can get moved over. Ooh, moved over some, but there it is. Granted, it won't just spin around, but so there's our coupling, at least for that the shafts there. That's I like that, actually. I do. So we got the top shaft figured out from this side over, which means we're good on this side to keep moving forward because we know what we're doing. The only thing I'm missing is that bearing here, which we can put the shafts together and get things lined up. But yeah, I'm actually surprised. That actually went together pretty decent. And that just makes it so that when you release it, then everything comes apart. So it all moves. Okay, out of all the spare ones that I had, this one moved a little bit. So lubed it up with some of, I always forget the name, Silly Krail. Is that how you actually say it? Oil that creeps plus silicone. So lubed it up with that, gave it a little bit of a spin, and well, y'all see we got nice easy spinning. So we can put that shaft in, which is a good thing. We're gaining on this top. So if by the end of the day I can have the top all done, then we just got to do the bottom. And realistically, once we do the bottom, then it's just the hydraulic stuff and the wings. But we could, theoretically, we could run like that once we get all the wear parts changed out. But those are on their way. I actually saw Shoop sent the delivery confirmation through this morning, which is wild because it's a Saturday. Big shout out for Shoop. They did call me and say that the opener discs were back ordered, but they'd be shipping on Friday. So it's cool that their customer service is good. So let's put, well, I need two hands, but I'll slide this one through. This one's already all bolted or all pinned and everything else like a glove. Look at that. We got a little bit sticking out the end, so we got some play, but that's wild. Very happy with this. If this kit wasn't set up this way, this would be a disaster. So I got lucky with how it was all set up. Yeah, they use these on new planters. I saw that too. So, well, maybe not brand new, but newer style planters. So what we got to do, I got this shaft in all cleaned up. What we got to do is get that transmission up here. So we got to clean that up, slap it up. We got some more ends to connect things. Here's one right here, so we got to get that off. I think I got another half piece. I did cut this one in half, so this is going to be used on this side of the planter to connect everything in. So we'll leave that there. Alrighty, it's coming together. So this transmission's good. We're just gonna run through and permanently weld it. I welded some of it. This transmission all cleaned up, ready to go on here. So I got this piece in here. We drilled the shaft already, so that is where it's gonna go. So we'll put it up there, make sure we're good, tack it, close the door, we'll close the wing, and then see what we look like. Oh, that is gonna be golden. So we'll grab that. We'll do the same thing where we pop that middle insert out. We put the larger size in, and then it's gonna go right like that. So that is new bearings, new rollers, and the transmissions will be good. So I'm glad I'm slowly piecing this together. If I was gonna buy everything right away, I would have lost stuff or forgot stuff or ordered too much stuff. Like, that's sweet. I got that bearing back going because you start adding stuff up. So like 30 bucks here, 30 bucks there. But whew, that is beautiful. You guys did a hell of a good job at measuring all this stuff out. So we got some pivot ability, so this can slide in. We got like 2 inches down there. That's gonna be perfect. Mint. I'll go ahead, weld that other side. That way the tractor's not running. Trying to minimize my usage of it. Got both transmissions welded right on. So this side's good. We need a pin, maybe a bolt. I'm thinking a bolt. Cotter pin. This one's good going that way. I'm just working on drilling out, but I had a little drill wanted to stop working, so I sprayed it full of oil, and the drill's working, but the chalk is not. It's getting stuck or not locking. So in the meantime, put this back on, which this is the hose jump. So hose will go like that around it. And then we welded the gussets on. So I welded both sides, and I stopped so that we're not welding this and making this extremely hot over and over again. So we got to do a few more passes just to reinforce it across, and as you see, clean it up, make it smooth across. That would be really nice. I didn't want to put all the heat to it and have it warp this and then not be able to pivot, but there you go. So those gussets look way better. That'll keep some strength in it, so that it's not pulling and ripping things apart. So it had it on it before. They were smaller. They came out to like here. This actually makes it so if I wanted to take that U-bolt out, we could slide it, turn it, and then drop it down through, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so both transmissions on, gussets are on. Got to drill this out and drill this out, and then that's going to make it so that we can put that one together on this end, and then the whole top shaft will be, other than this little connector for on that transmission, will be done. Alrighty, done welding. Row units are on, shafts are on. We're gonna need a few spare parts, bearings. I'm starting to line up the drive, which, well, we need bearing, and same on the other side. So 8 bearings that roll through the lift wheels, and then we got to do some moving around. If you'll remember, one of these shafts was broken. It was on that side, so I actually, as you see, that was a clean break, so we cut everything off. So this should be good. This should be good. We just got to put things back together how they're supposed to be. So we got all that. Then we go over here. This should be good. We're just gonna have to move things over. We got to modify this because it's too long. We need more distance over. This one was the one that's broken, so we cut the shaft up. But on the parts planner over here, we wander over in here. Here's a full shaft. It's long enough, so we just got to take the bolts out, or nuts off, and that will slide right out. And then from there, we'll use it on that outside. But we're not going to do any of that till we actually get the bearings, because we got to slide things, work things. So we need bearings. I figure as long as we're there, we're going to do 1 bearing there, which means another bearing there. So 2 of those bearings that hold the idlers, so 4 of those. 8 bearings that go inside the lift wheels, and we're going to do 8 bearings that are all here, and that should be it as far as that stuff. And then the seals. So let me look up that stuff before I forget. And that should be, yeah, that should be really good actually. So we'll clean some of those shafts up, and that will drive. So each one of these wheels actually helps drive that. So if you're turning, theoretically the outside wheel will help drive, and that I like it. It doesn't necessarily have to be that way, but I don't want to, yeah, that's how we're going to keep it. It does on the 8-row where it's split. It's not like the outside's going to drive faster than that outside, because they're actually driving differently. But it's neat. It's a neat function. So alrighty, let me look up parts before I forget. We'll see how much further we get today. It's already 5 o'clock here, and yeah, I'd like to get some work done on this. I don't know if that will get put into this video or not. Gotta loosen 2 Allen wrench. I think there's only 1 on each one. So 2 Allen wrench, slide that shaft out of those bearings. Probably pop the bearings right off too. But I lubricated them up, and I figured I'd let them sit. So I ran over and grabbed this. And no, this is not the frame that goes on the 7520. I actually ended up buying 2 frames. This had this little snowplow thing on it, an actual snowplow blade that could pivot and stuff like that. But I bought it because I cut up the framework, and it was like $300 or something like that a week before I bought that one. But I knew I was going to buy the one that was going on that at the same exact place. So both, they came out of Ohio, both of them at the same place. And I forget the place. It was neat though. So this has been sitting in the bushes, and I said maybe someday I'll need a piston or something out of it. This is a corn planter piston. I believe that piston and the pistons that's on that is the exact same pistons. I believe so. So as you see, we got cylinders leaking and stuff. So I figured I'd let that planter sit, and I would experiment and see something. So let's see what we got. Other than the hydraulic oil dripping down the side of the tank, piston. So there we have it. I think it's got enough throw that it's going to go up and down and everything else. We'll pick it up, see, well, it goes in this far, but we're not going to need it to go in that far. But I take it, that's at the, it's not at the very end because it's got more throw out. So we'll get the right fittings, run the hydraulic line down to that box. Well, it's going to go over there, but we got a piston that goes in it. We even, the pins and everything lined up, which is wild. Like they're the right size pins. Well, damn close to it. Where is it? There we go. So those are in there, but it's leaking hydraulic oil out as it runs. But let's see. Oh yeah. So then down. Oh, it's got more than that. That would be perfect, because loaded into tankers, it doesn't have to go that low. Found one, found it. I was wondering what I was going to use for a piston. I was going to go order one, but we got it. Yeah. So we got to get the right fittings for that. But that's nice. So we'll put the hose in, we'll do the band. Maybe that's a tomorrow thing. Maybe we can get some help. We can get that hose on, put the bands on. Still got to build a cradle for it, just for it to rest on so we don't kill our return or this elbow. And then really after that, it's plumbing, hydraulics, like the fabrication side's done. That's cool. I'm glad that actually worked out. I went over and grabbed that, and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Clearly it did. I might as well hold on to this other piston, and we'll go put this back in our scrap in the bushes, because at some point I'll junk it, but I'm glad I held on to it because these pistons. So I'll have a spare piston in case that one acts up. There's some hydraulic lines, but nothing that you'd want to really use. They're weathered, but it does have some usable square stock if we need it. Yeah, that's cool though. So I'll pop that off, and then we'll get that planter finished up. And then once we get that piece off, this is done until we get the spare parts in. But we can focus on that. We can focus on the white truck. Maybe we'll start stripping down the 7520, pull that front axle out. Much better than fighting them, but I think this planter didn't sit in the environment as long as that other one. So yeah, that one's good. There's one underneath here, which I probably need 2 hands for, but I lied, there's 2 of them. Now it will move, at least this one. Other one I can't see what's going on, so we might loosen that bearing, let it slide all the way over, so then I can visually see it's just tucked underneath there. Pain. There it goes. I can't break anything. Let's get this chain off it and slide it that way and see if we can see what is going on with that one. There we go. Now we can see. Maybe. Alrighty. So there's a fitting there that looks like somebody broke something off in. There's a fitting there that looks like somebody messed it up. So I ended up cutting this bearing off. As you see, I cut, well, it cut all the way through. And I was like, okay. Then all of a sudden I realized that somebody just shoved a pin through it, and that's all that it was holding. It just needed to be tapped. So yeah, that wasn't actually stuck in there. No wonder I couldn't get it loose. It looked like something was broke off. But I did take the other side out, so we got some spare parts in case we ever need them. And then we'll have this shaft here. Grab it. So there we go. We'll take that bearing out too, just in case we need it. But this shaft, yes, that is the same part. This shaft will go from here. Well, I guess we got to move that over to this side, but you get the point. At least the shaft's good. Actually, maybe we can just move it to this point. Nope, we got to re-drill a hole. So, but that shaft will go that way. Then the coupler will go into that. So those bearings I just took off are the bearings that actually go inside of each one of these. Yeah. So I got a big list. I got to order that tonight of planter part stuff. Is there anything else I want to strip off this right now? We'll just take that bearing off. And then we'll probably pull this out of the way. We'll get this folded up. We'll get everything picked up, back that in, get that out of the way. Before it gets dark, I'll get all this tucked away. So today was a pretty good day. Not a ton of progress, but that's kind of how it is when you're at the nitty-gritty stuff. But gussets are on. Really happy with them, actually. I thought about boxing the top and bottom, but I think we're going to be good there. So that's primered. Somebody did make the comment, don't even bother planning it till you get everything figured out. But I don't know if I want to run it in the field looking like yeah, like this. I guess we could paint it some green, but it's gonna look sharp with the yellow poly boxes on it, and then we're gonna be like, eh. So alrighty, gussets are on, transmission's in, top shaft's about done. We just got to put some pins. We need one more of those pieces. We're probably gonna build that. I think they were like 50 bucks a piece, which is kind of crazy. We got chains. We got most of our chains. Got a list of parts that we're gonna order tonight, so we'll see those sometime next week. We still got to do row units on the last 2. We got to drill holes to finish up. Then we got to start stripping it down, So once all those parts come in, we'll start going through. Maybe I'll get hydraulic lines made this week, because I could do hydraulic lines when I do hydraulic lines on the back of this. But I'm slowly picking up my mess out here, so I moved the parts planner over there just for now. I'll get all my scrap, get it thrown in the box over there. Yeah, decent day, nothing too crazy. Glad that piston worked up there. It's one less thing I gotta figure out where to get, what to get, and you know, spend money on it. But I'll get this one folded up, I'll get it tucked back in here, and me and Yanko are gonna go find some dinner. Right, bud? Come here. Hey, Joe, he's still playing with your Frisbee and loving it. So I'm surprised at how well this holds up, Kong Frisbees. Come here. Come here. I think he's got a little limp on his one leg. I haven't really been able to figure it out. Nothing seems sore. When he runs around, he doesn't seem in pain, but you've been running around all day, haven't you? You gotta relax a little bit. You want to show everybody your belly so I can give it a rub? No? You don't want your belly rubbed? You just want to go home and eat dinner, don't you? So, alrighty. We appreciate you watching along, liking, subscribing. We'll see them on the next one. Have a good one. I thought we were leaving. Something I didn't even think about. The gusset hits on the other frame. It's got to be tighter. Didn't even think about it. Oh, well, that's not good. That's not good at all. Hits up here on this corner. Well, I guess our good work is not actually that good, so damn. Something to fix, I guess, tomorrow or the next day or whenever. Is it like that on both sides? Yep. That's not good. Oh, crap. Alrighty. You guys have a good night.